Hello everyone, it's Laura here from Laura's Creative Pages and Cards, and we are now on to day 25 of our 31 days of cards, and we're making this stunning birthday card. So we need our card base, and then we're going to need this print paper here, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. We're going to need a sapphire square, which is 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, a lagoon square, which is 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. Then we're going to need 2 of these white daisy card squares, which are 1 1/2 by 1 1/2, and then you're just going to need a scrap piece of lemonade to fit the banner stamping on. Okay, so we're going to attach this print paper to the card front, so it is exactly the same size as the card front. And we're going to put 6 big pieces of tape on the back there, and I'm actually opening the card here so that I can line up to the very corner of the card front. Sometimes when they're folded in half you get a little bit of an overlap, or it can be a bit confusing, so best to open it up. Now that it's opened up, I'm just going to grab my journal pen and I'm going to add the little journal pen line to the outer edge of this card front here. Okay, so it's really simple, just the card front piece on and then the journal pen marking around the edge. Okay, so that's coming to a close there, and then that's that card front now done. I love it that it's the full piece this time. Now we're getting on to the stamping. This entire card is stamped in black, so there's no other colours needed except for black. I've already preloaded the wishes onto my block and it's straight this time, so I'm just stamping it on there, and it will leave a little bit of a dash mark on either the left and the right, but we're going to hide that with our penmanship anyway. And then we're going to add on some balloons. So again, I already preloaded it onto my block, and I'm just going to stamp this image twice on the little square with a little bit of overhang on the right and the bottom, and then also the second one that I stamped is going to have quite a bit of overhang hanging off. So partial stamping is super fun. You still get the image, it looks great. Now with this lemonade piece, we're going to stamp on the banner, and it's much easier if you actually place the banner down onto a hard surface and then collect it with the block. Because it's a very flexible and soft one, it's much easier if you pick it up that way. So I've inked it up and I'm going to stamp that right there in the center of that scrap piece of lemonade there. Fantastic. And now I'm going to go and grab the birthday, and this time we're not going to straighten it up, we're going to leave it curved. And again, I'm just going to lay that down onto my piece to make sure it stays curved, and then I'm just going to pick it up with my block, ink that one up in black as well, and I love that it just fits in there perfectly as a beautiful birthday banner. Alright, so that is the stamping done for this card. Okay, and now we just need to fussy cut out the banner. Otherwise, if you do have the thin cuts, you could certainly run it through your machine and thin cut it out. So I'm just going to quickly trim that out there so that I've just got the banner. And so when I fussy cut, again, I just leave a little bit of a gap from the line to where I'm cutting. I just find it looks a little bit nicer and hides my imperfections in my fussy cutting. Okay, that's done. Now we need to bring in the balloons and we'll just colour in. So really you just need 3 colours and just repeat the colouring. Keep each of the type of balloons the same colour. Don't overdo it and do too many colours. And what's really cool for the stripy balloon and for the dotty balloon is with the tri-blend markers, I just use the light end and I use the dark end to get the 2 shades. So I've really only used 3 of the different markers here on this colouring in. I don't have, 5 or 6 markers. So I've used a citrus green, a burnt orange, and I think the other colour was true blue. So yeah, so it's really cool having the tri-blend markers because I use the light end as I am doing right here on this burnt orange balloon, and then pop the end on, flip it around, and then just use the dark end to colour in the dots. So that is what's really cool about our tri-blend markers. Now that the colouring in is done, it is time to add on the little bit of penmanship detail just to finish off each of these squares. So I'm just running just a line around the outer edge of the box, and then I'm just doing my little dot decorations onto each of those. And then when I run the edge around on the wishes, those little marks that are on the right and left of the wishes, I just turn them into little stitch marks. So I purposely use them so it doesn't look like it's just an accidental mark. Okay, now that the decoration is added onto them, I'm just going to tape each of these to their colour matching. So the balloons is going onto the sapphire and the wishes is going onto the lagoon. Of course, you could change it around and swap it over. Really doesn't matter. It's just fun to have the two different colours. Okay, so they're all ready to go. All that we've got left to do now is just adhere all of this to the card. So as per usual, I just like to make sure and lay it out that I've got it correct. And then we're going to start by attaching the sapphire piece first with the 3D foam tape. Just need 2 pieces on this, and this is just at the single layer height. Okay, and then I'm just going to place that in on the card on a bit of an angle. Now we're going to add on the Lagoon Wishes, but I want this one double height raised. So in the corner where the S is of the wishes, I'm just going to place 1 single piece of the adhesive. And then in the opposite corner, I'm going to place 2 pieces popped on top of each other so that I get a double height. So this is raised above the balloons, just to give that extra dimension and to make it a little bit more fun and make it really pop. Okay, so that's just going to be attached over the top. So the piece of adhesive near the S has raised at 1, and then the adhesive we popped in the top left corner raises at 2. And then we just need to add on the birthday banner. And so I'm only going to place adhesive through the center of the banner, only where it's going to touch the square that the wishes are. So not where it's overhanging, otherwise it'll just be a waste and it might get caught and tacky. Okay, and so we're just going to add on that birthday banner there. I did place these squares a little bit too far to the left, but that's okay. Every card is unique, so just adding a few more bit of decoration dots, and that there, my friends, is day 25 completed. I hope you really love this card as much as I do. Bye!